It's Friday here at Origins Game Fair, and I'm talking with Craig Van Ness. And you've got 3 new games from your company. I am absolutely ignorant about everything to do with your company and these games. So, Craig, tell me about your company.
Well, with Soaring Rhino, we want to do something new and different with every game that we come out with. The first one is going to be Shifting Realms. It features something called the Realm Engine. All right. So back in the day, when I used to work for Hasbro, I worked on a game called Queen's Gambit. And that was a cool game because it had 4 different battle areas that could sometimes overlap. So the origin for Shifting Realms is really, wow, could I do like an expandable, like multiple realm game that could have different strategies and different synergies throughout the realms? And that's really what led to Shifting Realms.
And it's a fantasy game, but it's a fantasy game with a little bit of a twist.
Oh, yes. It comes with 5 different realms. You play with 3, and you can pick them at random or choose the ones that you want to play. There's a dwarf dragon realm, there's a priest realm, there's a pirate realm, there's an elf realm, and there's an orc realm. And each have their own different strategies. What's cool about it is the game is played. The person with the most victory points wins at the end of the game, and the game's over when 2 of the game-ending conditions are over, and each realm has a different game-ending condition. It's really a Euro-style game, but there is a little bit of attack in there. There's no dice rolling, so if you want to attack, you sacrifice a soldier for a soldier. But each realm has its own set of structures that you can build in its realm, its own set of story cards that you can build, or not that you can build, but that you can draw, which add to the story and flavor and the strategy of each realm. And you can cross, it's not like you have to be stuck in the realms. Like the dragon from the dwarf realm can go into the pirate realm and create havoc.
Boosts replayability quite a bit.
Yes, that's what we were going for. We wanted, likewise, when the dragon's out, he can kind of, when he moves, he kills 1 unit in each of the spaces so likewise, if the dragon's out there, sometimes you want to collect resources not near the dragon. So
now, one thing I should mention, Craig, that maybe some of our viewers might not be aware of, your name might be ringing a bit of a bell with some folks. So we're talking about dragons, and I believe you were the lead designer?
Yes, for Hero.
A little game called
Heroescape, yes. Yes, I am the lead designer for Heroescape. And one of the cool things is Julie Guthrie was one of the great sculptors for Heroescape. So she did the sculpt for the dragon, and she's doing this.
Julie does all the stuff for Reaper?
Yes, yeah. Oh, she's phenomenal. She did the stuff for Marvel Heroescape, which is just unbelievable. And she did a great job for our game, and the expansion comes with 3 minis as well that she sculpted for us.
And Shifting Realms is going to be available when?
Shifting Realms, we will have product at Gen Con this year. It should be available late July, August 2018.
Oh, okay, so before Gen Con.
Yeah, maybe. It's on a boat right now. It left June 11th.
We know how it works. We know.
Supposedly shipping, it's going to arrive July 11th. It should go to our fulfillment partner shortly after.
Gen Con.
Yes. And we want to make sure that we get product to our Kickstarters first, because we promised that.
Right, and that's always the sign of a good company that actually sits there and says, oh yeah, we should probably send those Kickstarters back to their games before we start selling them at a con.
Yeah, most definitely.
That's good PR doing that. So what else do you want to talk about? You've got 3 titles. That's the first.
Yes, we have actually 4. Shifting Realms is the flagship game, and then we have an expansion called, this is the Darkness Revealed, that's coming out in 2019. But that has, the Shifting Realms has 5 realms, and the Darkness Revealed has 3. But we play tested those all at the same time, so that they all work with each other, and they're all.
I'm sure you play tested more fast.
Yes. Well, when I was working on Heroescape, we developed these things called synergy charts. Actually, one of the playtesters, or one of the guys from the Heroescapers, developed these synergy charts early on that showed the connections between all the different strategies and all the different guys. So we definitely implemented that when we did Shifting Realms, because we wanted to physically see how all the cards and the structures interacted with each other, and made sure that, like, hey, if I buy a structure in the Dwarven world, that this card in the Elven world is going to work with it. Like, so there's a lot of overlap, and that was something that.
Sounds like you've got quite a few wheels turning.
Yes. The other game that is kickstarting October 1st is the Mammoth Game. And have you heard of the Woolly Mammoth?
I know what a mammoth is.
Do you know about?
I saw the box art as I strolled up.
Do you know?
Remember, I told you I'm completely ignorant about your company. See, I'm more than willing
No,
to
but
admit
do you know
it.
about? They're actually bringing back the Woolly Mammoth.
Yes.
You do? What do you like? You've heard about it?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we've met
I
with.
thought you were asking, do I know about the game?
No,
I'm like,
I meant the revival.
Yes. Right.
Yes.
Yes.
It's pretty cool.
I know.
They're
It's scary though, too, right?
well, they're actually splicing woolly mammoth DNA into an Indian elephant. So they're giving it the fur and the tusks, and the blood that can withstand the cold weather. And they're doing that because there's a.
And then that mammoth is actually going to reproduce and eliminate all human life on the planet. So that's pretty much what's going to happen.
Not exactly. The Harvard scientists are working with these other scientists called in this Pleistocene Park, where near the Arctic there's methane and carbon coming through the permafrost, and they've found that they've brought tanks and bison and bigger animals, and they found that if they flatten the permafrost, the carbon doesn't come through. So now that's great, because now the woolly mammoth has a place that is going to help the environment. So that was the inspiration for the game, which we think is really cool, because we got a cool story that goes with the game. And they also found flowers in the dung of the woolly mammoth. So our tile laying game is a pretty cool experience, because you're moving your mammoth along and you're growing your flower patch, which is kind of cool. But the point of difference for Mammoth, because Soaring Rhino wants to make a point of difference with every game, is we have a great competitive game and we have a great co-op game all in the same box. It's pretty exciting. So the competitive game is pretty cool. You pretty much grow your color flower, your patch, but if you happen to grow another person's flower that color, you get more points. So it kind of inspires people to grow each other's. At the same time, you also put a smaller animal down that allows you to lengthen your trail. There's a couple different ways to get victory points. The co-op game is pretty cool because, in my opinion,
We're all fighting against the elimination of all humanity on Earth.
not quite. The co-op game is more about, for me, most co-op games suffer from what I call leader complex or alpha gamer, because everything's out in the open, and whoever knows
you should be doing that.
yeah, exactly.
It's my game plan, but okay. Right. Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
So what we tried to do was have a moment in the co-op game where before the action cards come up, you have to decide, okay, what do we want? Well, I want to move my mammoth. I can place a square tile. I can place a tile for somebody else.
Okay.
So you have to have
A
a little planning. And then it's like, can't talk. You flip the action cards over, and you got to kind of just go in turn order and deal with what you have, right? So sometimes you're like, oh, good, I got what I want. And then you're like, oh, you didn't get what you want, she didn't get what she wants, I guess I'll take this one. But that's a moment where the alpha gamer, that's a moment where the alpha gamer can't say anything, right? You have to just kind of pick your cards and do what the action is.
Then you get another game that, from the artwork, looks kind of gonzo.
What do you mean, the Pirate Tricks? Yeah, cool. Yeah, okay, so Pirate Tricks is our...
People will be seeing the cover to the box, and it
Yes,
looks unique.
it
It
is.
certainly does.
Yes, it's space pirates meets animals meets steampunk. That's like the theme. But with a trick-taking game, we just try to have fun with it.
Games are fun.
Yeah.
They're supposed to be.
The point of difference for the Pirate Tricks game is it's a trick-taking game where you bid for half your hand, right? So you get dealt half your hand, and then you see face up the cards that will make up the second half of your hand, which is kind of cool because like a lot of trick-taking games like Pinochle and Hearts and you're kind of stuck. If you have bad cards, you got bad cards. Right. There's nothing you can do about it. Whereas in this game, it's all about the money. So you can bid to how much do you want to bid to get the top trump card or the trump always stays the same. The rules for meld and scoring change every time. And I mean, there's been a lot of trick-taking games that do that. But that's just so that like it keeps the replayability up there. And, yeah, a little fresher, and keeps the bidding active. So it's kind of like, oh, this is a new problem to solve or a new puzzle. Like, what do I really want? Do I want all blue cards? Do I want, because there's also meld cards in there as well. So you can look for cards that you can score right away. So a certain rows you might want to bid more on because you know you're going to score those meld points right away.
And the artwork looks really cool.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. We have foxes and gorillas and weasels, in like space gear. So it's
I
fun.
have to ask, then, if someone would like to learn more about any of these awesome games and when they're arriving,
yes,
what website could they maybe go to?
Yes, soaringrhino.com.
Soaring Rhino.
Yes. That's the website. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for taking time out to chat.
Thank you.
And have a great show.
Yeah, you too.
Thanks again for watching The Daily Dope, presented by The Gaming Gang. If you like this episode, be sure to give it a quick thumbs up. And if you dig the channel, please subscribe. If you'd like to check out our previous episode, click right here. And if you want to check out a somewhat randomly selected episode, give a click right down here. It'll be like opening a box of Cracker Jacks. You just don't know what you'll get. Once again, thanks for watching, and I'm Jeff McAleer.